Hello Year 6 and welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson. So for today's lesson you need this book again. So make sure you have got the right one. So it's the one from Bubble Closure still, and you are looking at pages 25 and pages 26. Okay, so it's all about measuring. Now, we haven't really done much measuring, but lots of your skills that we have done are going to be applied on these pages. So your first section is this table here, okay? Now, it gives you different measurements across the top. So millimetres, centimetres, another centimetres one, and a metres one. So you are given some values and then you've got some gaps to fill in. Now, it asks you to use the example to help you. Okay, so the example at the top is 4,360 millimetres. You've got to change that to two different centimetre ones. Well, centimetres and centimetres, and then a metres one. And if you follow this pattern, it will help you to fill in all the other gaps. So, for example, this one, 3,120 millimetres. When I look at the centimetres one, I can see here that I can use this example to put 312 centimetres. And then the next one is metres and centimetres. And so it's 3 metres and 12 centimetres. And then the final one is metres, so it will be 3.12 metres. Okay, so then you would use these to help you to fill in the gaps. And it is the same for the one underneath. Okay, then the next section is area and perimeter. Okay, which you will definitely be able to do because it's using multiplication and addition, two skills that you absolutely can do. So the first bit asks you for the area. Now, if you think about a rectangle, the area is the space in the middle. Okay, and all of the areas that you are asked for here is rectangles. So the first one is 6 times 8. So that's saying that it's 6 along here and 8. So the width is 6 and the length is 8. So to work out the area, this middle bit, you multiply those two numbers together. So you would just do 6 times 8. Okay, so 6 times 8 is 48. Now, make sure, and it asks you to give it in centimetres squared. So the way we write that is centimetres and then a little 2. Okay, so for area, it needs to be written centimetres squared. So make sure when you write your answer that that's what you've got. Now, underneath, it's a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so you've got to use this information that you've just done for the area to work out the perimeter. Now, as I said before, the area is the middle. The perimeter is round the outside. Okay, so you've got 6 along here. So if that one's 6, then this must be 6. And if that one's 8, this must be 8. Okay, so you've got all your values then, and then you can work out, you've got to add them together to get the perimeter. So what I would do, I've got 2 6s, so that's 12, and I've got 2 8s, so that's 16, and then you just add them together, okay? Some of you will be able to do that in your head. Now, perimeter isn't centimetres squared, it's just centimetres. So area, you need centimetres squared. Your perimeter, you just need centimetres. So area is in the middle and multiplication. Perimeter is the outside and addition. Okay, so two skills that you can do. So on the next page then, on page 26, now again, this is using a skill that you have got. So multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000 is the skill that you need for this. Okay, and you're going to be changing kilometres into metres, okay, for this first section, for these first three. Now, there are 1,000 metres in a kilometre. So to get from kilometres to metres, you've got to multiply by 1,000. So I'm just going to give you a little reminder of how to do that. Now, some of you will be able to multiply by 1,000 in your head. Some of you might need to jot down a little bit of a place value chart to help you. Now, when we're multiplying by 1,000, we move 3 places to the left. The number is getting bigger, okay? So, to change 12.275 kilometres into metres, I've got to multiply by 1,000. So the 1 will move 1, 2, 3 places. So will the 2. So will this 2. The 7, 1, 2, 3. And the 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it would be 12,275 metres. So that's for those first three, you've just got to multiply them by 1,000, either in your head, if you can do it in your head, or using a place value chart. Okay, then the second bit is really similar. So you've got to convert these volumes. Now, millilitres to litres is the first one. Okay, so there's the same, there's 1,000 millilitres in a litre. Okay, so you've got to, for these ones, so millilitres to litres, you've got to divide by 1,000. So if you had something like 340, when we're dividing by 1,000, we're going to the right. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, really important here that you get your placeholders in. So there's going to be a decimal in exactly the same place, and then you need a placeholder there. Okay? So for the litres, millilitres to litres, so these first three, you need to divide by 1,000. And then litres to millilitres, you need to do what we did in the first bit and multiply by 1,000. So when we are dividing by 1,000, we move 3 places to the right. And when we are multiplying by 1,000, we move 3 places to the left. So millilitres to litres, we need to divide. Litres to millilitres, we need to multiply. Okay? That's that section. Now, section 3 on this bit, you can just have a little go at. So it's matching the quantities with their so metric is what we tend to use now. Okay? Imperial is, we still hear it quite a bit, like miles and feet. It's just not as commonly used. But I just want you to have a go at that little bit. You've got to join match the metric quantity with the imperial quantity that's roughly the same. So either just have a little go, or you could look it up, but don't worry too much about that bit. Right, the last bit then. A spoon has a capacity of 5 millilitres, so it can hold 5 millilitres when it's full. How many spoonfuls will each of these bottles hold? So you've got, if you kept putting spoonfuls of 5 millilitres into this bottle, how many spoonfuls would you put in? So the way you do that is divide, so 100 divided by 5. So you could do these in a little bus stop. Okay, so if it was the first one, 100 divided by 5. So if you're not sure, you might know that, but if you're not sure, you could do in a bus stop like that. Yes, so we couldn't do that, so we'd have to carry that along. Okay, 5's into 0, none, and then we've done. Yeah? Okay, so that'd be 20 spoonfuls for the first one. So as always, please email if you are struggling, and I will see you tomorrow.